Hey folks, I've got a control mirror for you today. Everyone either loves them or hates them. And this is going to be Esper control against Grixis control. And I'm going to try to go through this some of this at double speed here. Joe crit fails on the roll. The hunter will be on the play. And hunter's pretty solid opening hand. Got all his colors, signet, humility, which seems very good in this matchup. And turns Frost Titan, Grave Titan into 1/1s that don't do anything. Joe's hand's fine too. He's got mana. This card's really good in control matchups. Lightning Bolt, not so good, but can't mulligan this hand. So he's going to lead with the Swamp and the Thoughtseize. He could go after a Dimir Signet. That'd be a bold move there, Cotton. Also could take... Duress isn't... He doesn't need to take Duress. Tamiyo... I mean, I guess he's taking Tamiyo or Humility. Curse of Death's Hold, not particularly good in this matchup. He chooses Humility, which I think is fine. It's hard for him to beat that card. He has to basically get there with Nicol Bolas, like relying on an 8-mana spell. Not the best. Hunter did draw another land, so Dimir Signet. I imagine Joe will play Island. Is it Signet? He's got to find... Oh, he's doing Inquisition. So he could actually... He could, if he wants to, Inquisition away the Duress and play Lava Claw Reaches. Or I guess he could like Scalding Tarn for Steam Vents or something like that. I also apologize for the card window being the wrong size. So when you watch the replay and when you watch the actual match, the size is slightly off because of this bar at the bottom that shows the time. So that's why the card doesn't perfectly fit, but it's good enough that you can see it. All right, so he's going to go Lava Claw Reaches, Inquisition of Kozilek to take Duress. You'll see that Hunter drew an Island. Joe does need a plan for Tamiyo. Locking down lands, very good. And control mirrors, if you're playing Standard when a Johnny Vengeance was around, that card was excellent to the point where people would splash it. It was pretty easy to splash because he had 4 Arid Mesa and 4 Scalding Tarn already. Alright, so Joe draws Cryptic Command, which he should be able to get online next turn because he can play the Is It Signet. But we know the Hunter drew another island, so he's going to be able to cast Tamiyo here. He does know Joe has Mana Leak, but I believe that's the only thing that can stop him here. Hunter Miracles Terminus, which he declines to cast, surprisingly enough. And here is Tamiyo the Moon Sage, recently turned field researcher. I'm guessing, yeah, Lava Claw is going to get locked. Joe will still have access to Cryptic Command next turn, but he's not going to have Frost Titan for a little while. We're going to see Scalding Tarn get sacked. Probably for Steam Vents. Definitely needs a blue source here. I mean, he gets Watery Grave, actually, which I guess is also fine. You need triple black to cast Cruel Ultimatum, and yeah, I think that's actually the right play. So he can... He draws Consume the Meek. That's pretty bad in this matchup. It does stop and treat the Angels. And this is what's going to happen a lot of the time in Control Mirrors, is players are going to have Curse of Death's Hold, Consume the Meek, all this creature removal. It doesn't do much. It's all about leveraging the cards that actually do something. Joe does have the option of bouncing Tamiyo on Hunter's end step to get rid of it for a little while, and then he can like draw a card with his cryptic command or something. I don't know how good of a play that actually is. Right, Hunter draws another land. Actually, super land flooded. And Tamiyo is going to keep the Lava Claw down. Let's see if Joe end steps a cryptic. I don't think he needs to at this point. Diabolic Edict, that's another brick. We might see him do it on this next turn. Because he needs to hit 2 more lands before he can cast his Frost Titan, or he needs to draw into something else. Hunter's hand does nothing aside from this. Since he's Divining Top, that's a good one. I wonder if Joe would Cryptic the Divining Top. I would think about it. Card's very good in stalled games like this. It's on the stack. Need to get that new Eternal Masters art. It's super sweet. The problem is that he can't bounce Tamiyo if he plays Cryptic here. So, but the fact that he has a Lightning Bolt, like, Tamiyo's not really proactively doing anything. Like, he can't let the -2 does nothing. Joe can't let the -8 resolve, which gives you an emblem that says you have no maximum hand size, and whenever you cast a spell, it goes back to your hand, which is pretty obnoxious. So I think he can just Cryptic this and draw a card. Like, there's really no reason to bounce Tamiyo. So this is not a play that comes up very often, but I think this is a good call here. Oh, Joe bounced the Tamiyo anyway. That actually, yeah, that I don't like that part of it. Why do you target Lava Claw Reaches again? Oh, he hadn't activated it yet for the turn. Okay, that's actually less bad than I thought. Consuming Vapors. Let's draw all the removal spells, shall we? This game is not going to end for a while, is my prediction. Scroll Rack, that's going to be good here. You can get rid of 2 cards he doesn't need. Tamiyo, keeping the Manland out of action here. Yes, Hunter's Unit to Scroll Rack away is 2 bad cards. And Joe draws Pyroclasm. This last 4 draw steps have been terrible, but to be fair, there are a lot of misses. End of turn, Hunter is going to activate Scroll Rack. Draws Day of Judgment, doesn't do a lot, and okay, Negate's pretty good. He's happy to have this Negate. I might let him ride Tamiyo to victory. Yeah, alright. Terminus was on top of his library, so this is Scroll Rack can set up the miracles. That's pretty sweet. And Joe draws a Rakdos Signet. There are worse draws. You might as well cast it. The problem now is that Hunter has answers to Frost Titan. He has for a couple of turns now. So Frost Titan's not going to be able to just bowl over Tammy. Oh, well, actually, Hunter only has 1 Plains. So Frost Titan locking down Plains is very good. Hunter could negate the Rakdos Signet, but I don't think that's his path to victory. You imagine the Scroll Rack's going to find lands. He just draws the curse without even activating Scroll Rack. That's interesting. Going for the Tamiyo Ultimate. We are probably going to see Lightning Bolt here, which might get countered. He's gonna scroll rack everything but the negate. Draws creeping tar pit, there's a win condition, see beyond. And an island. Still can't find the second plains. So he puts Curse of Death's Hold third from the top. But maybe not. Oh, Joe has a response. So he is... Oh, yeah, he's going to cast the Bolt. Can't let Tammy ultimate. So I think we've backed up here. So we're pre negate. So now Hunter can play his Tar Pit. Could even cast See Beyond, even though he probably doesn't really want to draw those cards very much. See Beyond is going to let him put... Oh, I think he wanted to put the Curse back, but he put it third from the top, so he didn't draw it. So he puts Day of Judgment on the bottom. And I guess you don't really need 2 Wrath effects when you can cast infinite Wrath effects. So, Hunter doesn't play the Tar Pit. That's interesting. Joe needs to draw a gas right here. There's not a lot of gas that he can actually cast right now, though, is the problem. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Venser Shaper Savant. So he can actually Venser Tamiyo during, I guess, during the upkeep. And then the emblem won't happen. This game is not over. Super sweet. I think that's from the Vault Legends art on Venser. This is from before his planeswalking days. I think Joe debating when to cast this Venser. He's just going to cast it now. There's really not a huge advantage to waiting for upkeep. Actually, it's almost certainly correctly does it now, because Hunter could scroll rack in response. And Venser sends Tamiyo back to the hand. Yes. Just because your spells have flash does not mean you should cast them on your opponent's turn. Joe recognizing that in this instance. Now let's see what Hunter draws. Oh, during his upkeep, he's going to scroll rack. Okay, so it's interesting to me that he doesn't want that Tar Pit. Okay, so he's going to set up Terminus to get rid of Venser. And we know that's going to resolve. I guess now he can play the Tar Pit and play the Tamiyo. Maybe he's keeping the Tar Pit in his hand just to scroll rack with it. Although, like, it doesn't seem super necessary. Lava Claw reaches just... Oh, there we go. A Lava Claw reaches just then in timeout, basically the whole game. Alright, so now if Joe draws a land, he can Frost Titan this Plains, and that's possibly a big deal. Draw, step, Lightning. I guess he could Lightning. Lightning does 3 to Tamiyo and stops the Skull Rack, or Scroll Rack. What would a Skull Rack look like? That sounds really dangerous, actually. Scroll Rack. Joe doesn't have to Lightning now. He could wait and try to Lightning for value. Just like, so The problem is that Hunter is not going to let anything valuable to him get lightning because he has the scroll rack. So Joe's never gonna know, like, well, Joe knows that most of the time the good cards are on top of the library. So I think you might as well Blightning now and hope you get to play your Frost Titan next turn. It also prevents scroll racking during the upkeep. And then it also gives him enough mana to Diabolic Edict away this Creeping Tar Pit if that comes after him. So I think that's the line. There we see he's tapping 3 mana. And here's Blightning, so it's gonna take out the plains and deal 3 to Tamiyo. Not the greatest Blightning ever, but it's fine. That art is really disturbing. Tybalt's in the flavor text. So most things about Tybalt are pretty disturbing. Oh, he Blightning Hunter? Doesn't... Okay. Hunter draws Godless Shrines. He doesn't have to worry now about... there was a chance there that the Frost Titan could cut him off a white. Tamiyo locking down Lava Cloud Reaches. Surprise, surprise. Hunter not attacking. He knows his threat's still Tamiyo's emblem. And Joe picks up Moldrifter. That's a great draw. Now he can put a relevant creature into play and almost certainly hit his land drop. I guess there's a chance of a counterspell, but waiting doesn't reduce that chance. So here is the Flying Fish. He's going to scroll rack in response. Draws Clutch of the Undercity. So that is a bounce spell that deals 3 damage and has Transmute. So he can transmute for, I think Humility is the main target. Joe draws another sweeper, but he does draw the island, so now he's going to be able to Frost Titan. I wonder if he Frost Titan the scroll rack. That's a legal play, right? Hunter not going to Clutch of the Undercity the Moldrifter, surprisingly enough. We can take a moment to look at his deck list and see, whoops, sorry about that, what can he tutor for. So at 4 mana he has, oh, Jace the Mind Sculptor, that's a good card. He can tutor for that. And yeah, it's just Jace and Humility, but those are good cards to tutor for. Oh, and Day of Judgment, so obviously doesn't need that here. Alright, so Hunter drew Godless Shrine. He hasn't done anything since. Alright, so here is the Transmute, and here is Jace the Mind Sculptor. This is a good Magic card, you may be aware. He brainstorms into Swamp, Day of Judgment, Entreat the Angels. Well, I guess he's not even bothering to put Entreat on top. He's like, nah, there's no way I'm going to win with this. Oh wait, maybe not. Oh, he does put Entreat on top. Okay. I don't see why you wouldn't put it on top. Like, you can always just not cast it. Tamiyo goes to 7. Joe draws 7th land, or 6th land, but 7th mana.
So the question now is, who does Muldrifter go after? He really can't afford for this emblem to go off, but at the same time, yeah, I think you have to attack Jace. It's pretty risky, but if he doesn't attack Jace, the Frost Titan's just gonna get bounced. So like, if he attacks Jace down to 1, then he plays his Frost Titan, I'd probably tap the Scroll Rack. He at least knows that he'll have a chance to, like, he either kill. Yeah, I think this is the right play. We know it's probably not going to work because of Entreat the Angels. He's probably just going to have to. Oh no, that's not true. So if Hunter goes in on Entreat the Angels, Joe can consume the Meek, which would kill the Angels but not kill his own guys. So I think this is an out. Here is Frosty the Snowman. He's back with a giant axe. So he could. So I think the plausible targets here are Scroll Rack, Godless Shrine, and Creeping Tar Pit. Alright, so Tar Pit was targeted. Unfortunately for Joe, this Day of Judgment is going to be pretty rough. So he actually wanted to tap down the white source, but I feel like that's pretty tough. And then there's, between like Jace Brainstorm and Scroll Rack, Hunter can see a lot of cards, so it's not a super high probability. Here's the Brainstorm. It hits Swamp, Ponder, Curse of Death's Hold. Curse of Death's Hold, a Wombo combo with Humility, come to think of it. Opponent's creatures are 0/0 with no abilities. We did it. But yeah, I think he's just going to cast Day of Judgment and then gets Ultimate Tameo and win the game. Probably. Excuse me. I wonder, well, he has a Preordain now. He's going to cast it though. I wonder if you keep a cantrip in your hand, because if you Ultimate Tameo, then you basically get to just draw your whole library if you have one of these cheap spells in hand. I guess he could Tameo the Frost Titan, maybe, but I think he kind of has to Day of Judgment. Oh, he found a Marsh Flats. That'll let him shuffle. It's like he bottomed Swamp and Condemn. There is the Day of Judgment. And it turns out, though, if Joe had locked down the Goblet Shrine, the Marsh Flats could have found another Plains. Again, that was the psychic play, but probably not the correct one. Tameo up to 8. Joe has not much in hand. Needs to draw something. Crumbling Necropolis is not what the doctor ordered. Assuming the doctor could make a proper diagnosis. End of turn, Scroll Rack. Gonna put Entreat the Angels on top. I wonder if he's gonna cast Entreat the Angels finally. We know it's not gonna work, but if we drew counter spells, maybe it is gonna work as Oria's Signet.
And then Truth Angels on the stack. Casting it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems like the right amount, given that he has Counterspell. And here comes some 4/4s. It's the Avacyn Restored Angel, I think, which is fitting because it goes with this card. Alright, so Tamiyo going Emblem. And now he just has infinite counterspells, basically. So I don't think this game's going to go on a whole lot longer. And he still has Jason play. As a Brainstorm, he hits 3 lands. Although Nephalia Drownyard is a way you can win the game. I'm going to go ahead and hit Turbo Speed here because I think we know how this game's going to end. So Marsh Flats, Joe untap. Draws Mountain. He's probably going to cast Damnation. It's going to get countered. Then he's going to Consume the Meek. Which is fine. But Ancestral Vision. Now we're going to start plussing Jace. Blood Crypt is the top card. And Animate Lava Cloud Reaches. That is going to kill Jace. It's sort of funny. Oh, never mind. Creeping Tar Pit. Diabolic Edict. Is he allowing the block? He's allowing the block. Creeping Tar Pit goes to hand. Scroll Rack. Draws Thought Scour, Terramorphing Expanse. I think he can just start Thought Scouring Joe. And that's gonna win the game. Mana Leak. Maybe we should play the whole match at this speed, because these control games are pretty slow. Scroll Rack for 3, Drownyard Swamp. Draws Thought Scour, Blessing Jace, reveals Misty, plays Drownyard. Yeah, he can just mill him out, right? Draws Misty, Drownyard. Joe hanging in there. Ah, there goes Nicol Bolas. That's probably his last chance. Thought Scour, you. Thought Scour. Alright, we're done here. Now we're going to go to game 2. Wasn't that great. Hunter leads 1-0. We're going to open second replay, which is this one. And we're going to go. Right, we're going to go normal speed for now. Joe has Splinter Twin Mole Drifter. That was pretty sweet. Hunter had to mulligan. This hand's fine, though. He's even got... He can go turn 1, Island Visions, turn 2, top, and then if he wants to shuffle, that's an option. So this hand's fine. It's like Hunter topped whatever his top card was, not to be confused with topping. His top is a verb in multiple instances. Lava Claw Reaches is back for more action this game. And this is the sort of hand that's fine in a control mirror. It's like 2 spells, 5 lands. Wouldn't keep that against aggro, but and you want to make your land drops. The game is probably going to go for a while. So if Joe can draw his Intruder Alarm, assuming he, I mean, if he boarded in Splinter Twin, he definitely boarded in Intruder Alarm. He can just go Intruder Alarm, Mole Drifter, Splinter Twin, GG. Except that doesn't actually work because he'll or it depends how many cards are in his library. Mole Drifter is a force draw 2 cards, so this is going to be an interesting scenario here. Hunter goes with Ponder instead of top. And he draws 3 cards.
The cards appear to be Clutch, Humility, and Scroll Rack. Hilariously, Humility doesn't. It stops Splinter Twin combo with creatures, but it doesn't stop Splinter Twin combo with Intruder Alarm because you get a 1/1. You get a 1/1 with haste because the Splinter Twin timestamp is later. And then you get to untap your original guy, then you tap it, you make a 1/1 with haste, and then you get to untap all your creatures. This is pretty hilarious. We'll see if that comes up or not. And here's Godless Shrine. Paying 2 life, and he's going to cast the top. Presumably. I'm not sure what we're waiting for. There it is. Sensei's top enters the battlefield. Joe draws a mountain. Doesn't really need more lands at this point. He could evoke his Mole Drifter, but I don't think he can really afford to do that. Like, he's even going to have to discard. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to play a land, Mole Drifter. I guess he could. That's not the actual worst. How good is a 2/2 in this matchup? Yeah, this isn't as bad as I thought. This also isn't the creature you really want to combo off with anyway. Don't want to draw your whole library. Right, evoke the Mole Drifter. It's going to draw 2 cards. Swamp. Oh man. Hunter draws Clutch of the Undercity, which we knew was coming. Here's Terramorphic Expanse. He's going to be able to hit all of his lands here. So it looks like he's going to shuffle away the Humility. Oh no. Telemann Performance. So if Hunter doesn't have any creatures in his deck, which is very possible because I think there's only 1 in his whole pool, he's just going to lose on the spot if this card resolves. You don't need Splinter Twin. You can just mill them out. Alright, oh, now he actually draws a Humility. I think he missed the Suspend trigger also. They're letting him back up. The Hunter's going to top. He could, like, find a land, tap the top, and then sack Terramorphic in response. So that... I know that doesn't work. Then you get to draw a new card. Never mind, I'm done. You can't draw the card you want and not lose the top. I think Joe's just going to go for it. Hunter doesn't have blue mana up. Is this game just over? Did he board in as 1 creature? Telemann Performance. You. Arcane Sanctum, Marsh Flat. So we're doing it. Island, Duress, Tamir Signet. Pact of Negation, Appetite for Brains, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Entreat the Angels. I'm assuming he has a creature if he's doing this. Temporal, or otherwise he just scoop. Temporal Mastery, Island, Plains, Nimbus Maze, Counterspell, Island, Condemn, Negate, See Beyond, Plains, Maga, Trader to Mortals. Okay, so he did board it in. And the only reason he'd board this card in is so he doesn't lose to this Telemann Performance. So he's been milled down to 7 cards. Can he even win in 7 turns?
He's also losing a card from this Terramorphing Expanse. Does he even have lands? There's a lot of questions about life, the universe, and everything here. He didn't know that many lands. I'm sure he has a land he can go get. So he's going to top. And he scoops. Okay then. Thanks for playing. That was very interesting. So we're gonna go to game 3. Hunter's gonna be on the play. He's got a completely reasonable hand. Joe he's got different pieces. Cruel Ultimatum, not near casting. He has an Intruder Alarm, but not the Splinter Twin. He has a Mold Drifter, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, not great. Guess he didn't have enough cards. You gotta board out the removal that doesn't burn them. Thoughtseize is good here. Let's see if Joe gets aggressive and takes Azorius Signet. Like, the safe play is to take Jace. Which he does. Here is the Signet. Joe needs to hit a third land of his own so he can Mold Drifter into some more. And there, okay, he's used Scalding Tarn. Also, that's probably the best one. Get some red mana. Hunter drew a Swamp Blaster, and he's got the Preordained. Trying to mana screw this deck with all these cantrips and lots of mana sources is probably just silly. It's fine if you're like wastelanding them or something and you're just going to kill them before they recover, that's one thing, but Joe's deck's not going to win like super fast or anything. Here's the top. Joe could mana leak the top, but he doesn't. I'd say that's not unreasonable. He knows about the negate, I guess. Oh no, he's okay. He is thinking. Put on the thinking cap. It's not like taking 3 damage here is that bad. No, he allows it to resolve though. He's gonna fetch Steam Vents. Frost Titan not the best here. So he knows about the negate, so I think he's just gonna evoke the Mold Drifter. I guess he could just say, my plan in this game is not Intruder Alarm, and if you want to negate this, that's cool. And I don't think he's going to cast it if that's what he actually wants to be doing. He's going to evoke. Draws Grave Titan, Damnation. Ouch. Really wanted to hit lands. It's going to top. And let's see if he finds a land, maybe. Creeping Tar Pit.
Alright, he drew the island. That's step one. Probably wishing he'd fetch Blood Crypt now, but had no way to know. And he's just gonna say go. So there's two benefits here. One is that he gets to hold up Mana Leak, and obviously the other is that he isn't giving away his Intruder Alarm. Hunter activates top. Hunter is just hitting land drops. Is he gonna go for Ground Guard maybe? He doesn't have much else going on. Seems better than attacking with a tar pit. Especially we know there's a lightning bolt waiting. There's a mountain. Again, land is good here. So it does need to hit running black sources to cast Cruel Ultimatum on 7. There's definitely a pull here, but like now he has 3 blue for Cryptic Command. Again, mana in this format isn't perfect. Now Joe can cast Intruder Alarm and leave up Mana Leak, so I think we may see him do that here. You don't want to just not use any of your mana. End step top. This card gets banned from formats because it just makes the game take too long. That's a very good card. And Hunter draws an Appetite for Brains. I think he's going to have a few things to choose from if he goes ahead to cast that. Which he does. Pretty disturbing artwork again. So his options are Cruel Ultimatum, Damnation, and the 2 Titans. I can't see him taking Damnation. Any of the other ones, there's probably an argument for. Any land at all casts Frost Titan here. So maybe that's the one. And Hunter's still thinking. And he chooses the Grave Titan. Oh, there's Splinter Twin. Joe probably happy he holding onto this Intruder Alarm. He needs. It's gonna be tough though. He's gonna need to find a window to resolve 2 non-creature spells here through a negate. So he's gonna have to come up with a chance to Mana Leak. And Hunter knows about the Mana Leak and can play around it. That's been a very interesting match. These games have been different. End step top. Alright, so end step he's gonna Drown Yard. He's gonna hit some land. Dream Cache, or not, Dream Cache Teferi Ape Lightning. Teferi would have been great. And here's Ponder. Cast the Ponder. Hunter's ability to manipulate the top of his library. It's pretty big in this matchup where there's very specific cards that matter or are threatening, and there are others that just are not. Alright, so he's gonna draw Sea Beyond, and then he Sea Beyonds into Counterspell Demure Signet. He's gonna put Temporal Mastery, or shuffle Temporal Mastery back in. No need to cast that. Gonna say go. This could be the turn. Like, Mana Leak is not up right now, but it's gonna be tough though because Joe has to. Ooh, Snapcaster Mage. I was gonna say it's tough to resolve all of these things at once, but he drew a cheap creature. He could just Snapcaster, Lightning, Thought. He could try to go for Snap, Thoughtseize. Hunter might go for Counterspell though, if Joe doesn't have enough mana to go Snap, Thoughts. Oh wait, he does. He can go Snap, Thoughtseize, and then Mana Leak the Counterspell, or the Negate, or whatever comes up here. That does not seem bad. Instead, he's going to try to resolve Intruder Alarm, which I believe he's going to succeed in doing. I wonder if Hunter's just going to let this resolve. Try to fight the battle over the Splinter Twin later. He also doesn't know about the Splinter Twin, and he doesn't know about a creature other than Frost Titan. End of turn, top. Draws Terramorphic Expanse, so there's a shuffle effect. He plays the Demure Signet. He's got 5 mana up. Joe could go for the Ambush Viper here, but it doesn't seem necessary. Okay, so he draws a Swamp. He's just going to tap out for Frost Titan. Hunter lets it resolve. He's going for the Drown Yard. I'm not sure what got... I'm not sure what Frosty locked down the tar pit. Okay. Hunter plays land. We know that the Splinter Twins... Oh, maybe it is now. Inquisition. Although we don't know about the 3 cards on top. Hunter's going to negate the Inquisition. So what can Joe do here? He can go for Snapcaster, Thoughtseize, but it's not going to win. So he could just go for Splinter Twin, but yeah, I think this is a safer play. Counterspell. And now Joe could try to Mana Leak the Counterspell, and then he knows for sure his Frost Titan's getting in because Hunter can't target it with anything. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he definitely knows about the Condemn. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh no, because his discard spell got countered. I don't think he knows about the Condemn. I could be wrong. Alright, he just lets it happen. He didn't attack. Okay, I guess he knows about the Condemn. There's no reason you don't attack there. Unless there's specifically a card that is kills an attacking creature. End step, top. Joe also, if he draws a Swamp, can cast Cruel Ultimatum next turn.
which we imagine would be pretty good. And he just like slogged through 2 counter spells. Hunter trying to get there with Drown Yard, it looks like. Draws Duress, that's pretty good. Just like the information is very valuable. Now he can also just take this Winter Twin. If he's afraid of losing to that, which he probably should be. Joe could also still draw Television Performance at any time, just throwing that out there. Joe can do nothing to stop this. Winter Twin is chosen. So if Joe draws the land here. Oh no, he drew Nickel Bolas. Card's good. It's not what we really needed here. End step top. Drown Yard. Hits Blood Crypt. Oh, we hit 3 lands, wow. Crumbling Necropolis, Swamp. And here is Entreat the Angels. Hunter's going to leave up 3 mana, presumably. So he can condemn the Frost Titan. Except none of it's white. This may be a small mistake here. I think you want to leave up like Plains Tar Pit or something. In response, he's going to Mystical Teachings. Oh, flashback Mystical Teachings. Okay. I didn't see that get milled over earlier. I don't think you're allowed to Mystical Teachings for a swamp. That's probably what he would get if he could choose to do so. Maybe he'll just get Consume the Meek. Oh, Cryptic Command, okay. Consume the Meek probably not in the deck anymore. Like, you only have so many of these sweepers. So does Hunter know he has a counterspell that he can top into? Because otherwise, like, casting this Entreat when you know about the Damnation seems pointless. So I'm going to assume that he has something he can do here. So he's making 4 Angels. Joe draws Misty Rainforest. Okay, that can get him Watery Grave. The problem, though, is that he can't... Oh, yeah, he has to cast Damnation this turn. So then you just cast the Damnation, Mana Leak the counterspell, make sure you don't die. So Hunter just lets it resolve, okay. End of turn top. Draws Tamiyo, which I think can get past this Mana Leak. 9 mana, yeah. Oh, and that's going to turn off that's going to prevent Cruel Ultimatum possibly from being cast. I think Joe is going to want to not crack this Misty. It's like maximize chance of drawing a land. Yeah, but he does. Draws an island. We don't have triple red, or double red now. End of turn, Drown. You guys running out of cards? I think Drown Yard might get it done here.
Is it Signet Swamp? Then there's the Telemann performance. Hunter might also be floating the Maga, which would save him from Telemann performance, but it doesn't worry about that now. Joe could. He's down to 1 card. Yeah, I think we're done here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, Joe could. Yeah, he's gonna Cryptic and Scoop. I was gonna say Joe could. Had like he not been about to die to the Drown Yard, he could Cryptic the land that Tamiyo targets back to his hand, and then untap and then cast the spell he wants to cast. But good games, just came down to the wire. The mill plan in the sideboarding games works both times. Is something to note. Pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, that was, I think, one of the more entertaining matches. And Hunter continues his win streak, which I think is at 11 now. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, we'll be back again soon, hopefully live and not with replays this weekend. So it should be around and able to watch all the matches. So stay tuned for that.